What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. We got angry babies. We got angry babies in the house. But rest assured, it will be okay. How are we doing?
Grandma's gonna get your baba. Here.
Hit you guys with an ad or two. My kid's throwing a fit. What's going on, Dan the man?
Lily, stop. It's time to lay down. Baba.
How do you guys get kids to sleep? Win Lambo, yeah. I mean, shoot, it could come any day now. That would be nice. That would be nice. I don't know.
Here, we're watching monsters. Stop. Just this. Here, just grab it. Here, sit. Here, get your tablet.
What is going on? Powell, Cheese Chaser, what's up? Worried about you last night. Yeah, my daughter's been on one for the last couple of days. Will not sleep, just crying, lack of a better word, being an asshole. If you guys have kids, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, time for a nap. Oh, if you're talking about my daughter, she does not take those. She's a warrior. She's a nap warrior. Melatonin makes kids sleep. Yeah. Probably not a bad idea at this point. Cartoons. Yeah, she was up until like 1:30 last night. I just could not get her to sleep. What's up, Sophia? Daniel. Yeah, it's good though. Hopefully it's good now. Futures are flat. The flattest we've seen in a long time. Kind of suspenseful. What time in your location? It's 10 p.m. 10 to 11 p.m. Wanted a chicken nugget. Brought me her chicken nuggets. What's up, brother? My 2-year-old took her diaper off. Her entire body looked like she wiped chocolate. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's tough. She has not done that yet. Thank God. I'd probably throw up. Well, ever since I had COVID in the summer, I can't smell too great. So I probably wouldn't even smell it. Yeah, she's just doing the most.
Stop. Do you have food in here?
Right here. She's got a chicken nugget in her hand. Oh. How old were you when you became a father? 21. 21. Been a good time, but she's a lot to handle now. It's got progressively harder as I've heard a lot. And here she is. If I don't let her do what she does, she will beat me up. I'm like threatened by her, and now she wants zesty. So drops the chicken nugget. Yeah, it's tough though. I love doing these live streams, but when I have her by myself, oh my God. It's impossible. She's a monster. I did give her a Slurpee today, so that probably doesn't help. Wear my respirator when it changes. He's 18 now. Oh, she's cute though. Win Lambo Power Wheel. Man, I need this Lambo quick. And what are they called? In-home babysitter. Just fucking come move in. And we'll do that. Yeah. Who else in here has kids? What do you think of tomorrow's number? It's definitely going to be high. Definitely going to be high. But it's backwards looking. So we're actually getting the readings for February. And a lot of this commodity stuff wasn't really going on.
She's gonna take a bath. Get ready for bed.
Yeah, I need a nanny. Man, I need a nanny. Hug. Oh. I have 2, 12 and 15. Oh, man. That's a good age. I could do that. I say terrible twos, but she's 1.5. And I can't imagine. 2. She's sweet and sour. Hug you and then slap you. But everything is super flat right now. I am 36 years old. Wish I had kids. Here, look. Go get a bite. See, I can't get rid of her. Can't get rid of her. Twins. Oh man. Win nanny? Oh, dude. When I get the first million, what I'm gonna do is put the whole million in a stock portfolio that gives me a 3% return, and then all of that is going towards a nanny. That's it. $30K a year to the nanny. Let her pick a stock. She'd probably go with Disney. Yeah. She likes Disney Plus. I don't know why she's being so nice. She's never this nice. What's the big catalyst for tomorrow? CPI, and then you have initial jobless claims, and those are going to be the 2 high volatility expected catalysts, and that's at 8:30 in the morning. So it's too late to do anything about that right now, as far as portfolios are concerned. But it's going to be one of the more interesting readings that we've gotten, because we know it's going to be higher next month, but there could be good in it. Okay, if certain sectors of it are good, like used car prices, if that goes down, if services go down, get her a puppy. Okay, that's a great idea. That's honestly a great idea. The cats don't like her at all, so that's a good idea. And my dog, she's like, had her for like 8 years, and that was my first kid, and she just kind of doesn't pay attention to her and just runs away when she jumps on her. Nope, she wants my Mountain Dew. No way. Red or green tomorrow? Ooh, I think there will be positives to pull out of this, but I think the rally that we've seen today will kind of soften any potential bullish reaction. Does that make sense? You know, we've seen the strongest day since October 2020. It's Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Damn camera just fell.
Come on, Lily. You want to take a bath?
Adam Aaron with the shorts. There you go. There you go. Go take a bath. I win after all. Check news. House just passed bill to give $14 billion in aid to Ukraine. Really? Well, that's good news. I seen people saying that it was not a good thing, and I'm like, man, help Ukraine, just help them. But what's her name, if you don't mind? Khaleesi, like Game of Thrones. Her mom wanted to name her Amethyst, and I'm like, no, we agreed on Khaleesi a long time ago. Is Ribby the Party Frog your second channel? Not mine. What do you think of Lou saying no one has shares? Oh man. I guess it's right and wrong from my perspective, because technically the only thing brokerages have to do is give you the money at the right, like if you buy a stock, they have to let you buy that stock at the price it's going for. If you sell it, they have to let you cash out at that price it's going for. So in theory, and what I believe is, you have a lot more obligations to shares than 513 million shares that exist. You know, so if there's 1 billion shares out there, all the brokerages really have to do is make sure when you buy or sell, really when you sell, that you get your spot price. So, you know, the mechanics behind it can be a little shady, because obviously you can see stocks with over 100% short interest, like we've seen with GameStop. So we know it's not tracked, right? They don't cap it off. You know, if people want to buy stock and there's nobody willing to sell it, that's where you can get legal, you know, synthetic shares and naked shorting and all those other strategies, which are legal by market makers to do, but not in the malicious way that they've been doing it. So it's right and it's wrong. I mean, none of us technically own the shares. In my view, we have a right to sell or buy at the spot price that it's listed at, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, because that's the way that I look at it. But who says a lot? You think AMC is going to short squeeze? I think we've been getting the situation's been getting better and better for this whole time now. Essentially, really by summer, I could see a situation where the Fed's tightening, right? And the full scope of sanctions, the economy slowing down, recession, all of that is starting to kick into full effect. And the China situation, all of that's going to come back. But really, we need to see the markets falling, and you need to see liquidity drying up, which when you get Fed tightening cycles, that usually always leads to a recession. But it's not the first hike or even the first couple that causes it. You get the recession and you get the markets crashing when you're deep into a tightening cycle. 28 billion shares traded in 2021. Yeah. I mean, that's what, 54 times the outstanding float. That's wild. Lou does say a lot, but he's saying it to a lot less people lately. Yeah, I feel like everybody is. Like, everybody's views have fallen quite substantially. And that's actually a bullish thing for me, because I'm not in it for the views. You know, you make money making YouTube videos, but it's like, it's a negligible amount unless you are like Meet Kevin, right? You're making millions a month. So I don't even care about the views. The way I look at it, or who's watching, like I said, I actually look at it as a bullish thing when less people watch, because that just goes to show that the trade is becoming less crowded, or people are just buying and holding and not watching too many videos. That's really where I like to take most of the trades. Like Next Gen, the one that I just made a video about, 2% short interest. There's not much activity with this stock, and that is a uranium trade. And the whole sanction part, we can get into that if you guys want to. But even Mullen, the main reason why I took that trade when it had a 2% short interest as well, it since went over 20%, was because nobody was looking at it. So you really start to see those big moves when nobody's looking at it. And those same people that, like you guys just said, the 28 billion shares that traded hands, those people inevitably will buy back in. At least I strongly believe that. Could be wrong, but that's what I've seen through my experiences. Hey, Moon Gang, haven't seen you guys in a bit. Almost to the moon. Evergreens, we were wondering where you were. We were wondering, what was it, 2 days ago? We're like, where is Evergreens here? But, yeah, slowly but surely. It's good. It's good. I think this way to get everyone to buy. Oh, yes. Yes. That's, I think that's going to be a nice trade, especially once growth starts to slow down, because, you know, I'm sure you know this already, Shane, but when growth slows down, when the economy is projecting lower growth, which is going to happen probably by the second half of 2022, you're going to get a real shift in investor sentiment towards, you know, instead of, what is it, 3% growth they're expecting in 2021, which is a lot when you're talking about $21, $22 trillion of total GDP. When they start to slash that down to, let's say, 2%, then you start to see investors actually flock to more growth stocks, because if your, you know, economy starts slowing down, but you have an EV company over here like a Tesla or a Lucid or any other really growth company, but especially now because of the energy crisis that's going on, I think you will see a lot of people flooding into EVs, and I think you'll see a lot of people buying EVs that can afford to. So I'm glad you pointed that out, because yeah, I think so. Like, even Lucid has rallied quite a bit. Like, I'm still surprisingly up on my position, but I was very close to going negative. I've lost about 10 grand worth of gains in this, averaged at 21 bucks. But it's been going up over the past little bit, from 22.65 to 25. And they had terrible earnings. Lucid had terrible earnings. It was bad. It was really bad. Maybe it can get you a gallon of gas? Yes. Oh, appreciate you. The gas is terrible. I'm gonna put that towards a Lucid. Let's get a Lucid. I was making racks in the market, bought Indo and Who's at the bottom, literally 5x my money multiple days in a row. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We've been hitting good trades too, but like Duke Energy, that was a 500% trade. BP was another 100 and, well, it was like a 200% trade, but depending on when you got out. But, you know, I don't like putting all of my portfolio into really sketchy names, because evergreens, that can be good for a while, but when you do it wrong once, you're screwed. And I don't know what kind of allocation you're giving it, but it's always better to play things from a risk management perspective. But you know, if it works for you though. Indo was killer. That was a killer one. I think the uranium trade is probably gonna be back to NXE. That's the one I went with today. They were even talking on CNBC 2 days ago that uranium could double, especially with all this energy crisis stuff. WWR is about to fly. Check it. It's graphite play. Anything like precious metals right now is really interesting. I had some old MP calls that are finally coming back to life too, that are up like 200-300%. Oh, look at that volume. Jesus. Yeah, volume can make this thing go crazy. Look at that 22 million spike. What they do on those days? 2%, 1% off that volume? Yeah, that's a wide range too. That actually doesn't look too bad. The graphite play. What the hell? And geez. Does it have options? Oh, it has options. Oh, man. Like, throwing stones at these, I don't think it's a bad idea right now. Set a graph. He's an explorer and developer of mineral resources focused on developing a battery graphite business in the state of Alabama. Firm's battery materials projects include the Coosa Graphite and its associate graphite deposit located in East Central Alabama. What's the market cap? 75 million? That might be a good one. I'm going to save that to my precious metals category that I had to start a couple days ago. Didn't think that was going to be the case, but things have developed. Hearing reports that Ukraine gave up something that Putin wanted. That's why oil is dropping crazy hard, almost at 100. No, it dropped today for a couple reasons. It's back up just a little bit. And I really don't think the move down was justified all too much. Because essentially all that was said was that UAE, United Arab Emirates, said that they would support drilling more oil at their next OPEC meeting, which I believe is a couple weeks away. So it's not definitive. OPEC is really hard to convince them to drill more oil, because why do that when you're giving out the same amount and making more, rather than flood the markets, make a little bit more for a second, or not even really, and then just drop the price. It's really hard to negotiate with OPEC on that. They even denied Biden's phone call to talk about it. So that was a big reason why oil fell today. And you did have that 12-hour ceasefire with Ukraine and Russia in the big cities to let people out. So it was really those two things. And I think the trade is so crowded that it's kind of a shakeout right now. Like, I don't think it's done. I don't think the move is done. But you're definitely getting some people getting shaken out. Oh, man. I'm missing patting myself on the back. Uranium, oil about to explode. Stay focused on those in the next week. Yeah, I really like uranium too. And there could be a lot of catalysts for that. Most of Europe, like Germany, especially, but other parts in Europe, as they're weaning off of oil and natural gas, nuclear is the cleanest energy besides, hydro, solar, and wind. And it's pretty affordable. I think a pound of uranium I was hearing is like $50. And nuclear goes a long way, so it's definitely an option to keep those open longer. And with the whole sanctioning this, what is it? Well, this is the report. They republished it yesterday, but Biden, he sanctioned oil and other energy products announced on Tuesday. Does not include a ban on imports of uranium for nuclear power plants, a source familiar with the matter said. But and it says Russia and its allies Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan account for roughly half the uranium powering its nuclear power plants. And then today they said the U.S. weighs sanctions on Russian uranium supplier Rosatom. And this one is actually a big provider of uranium, and they're owned directly by the Russian government. So more talk about that could definitely be really good, I think. And these uranium companies are not even at their 1-year highs. I'm in 9 to see how the company's a total babe. Used to be a Marine too. She's a bad at what? 9. 9 energy. I'll just go ahead and Oh, you're funny. She was a Marine. I could take that. Been in the red for months. Yeah, me too. It's okay. The options help to offset some of the red. Aren't uranium rods for power plants coated in graphite? Ooh, I'm not sure. I actually had to read up on nuclear power because I'm like, I knew uranium powered, nuclear power plants, but I had no idea like how much you needed to power a plant for a day or a year. Like I didn't think it was a lot, and it's not a large amount, but I remember calling that out a while back. I stopped out at Indo, had 190 shares, got stopped out at 1092 last Tuesday, had my stop loss at 11, then it ran to 80 something. That one hurt. Yeah, people think that it's the trades that you lose money on that hurts. No, it's the trades where you missed out on a shit ton of money that hurt. I've done that so many times. It's stupid. Because, like, I'm good at getting into trades and I'm good at profiting on those trades, but it's getting out that's the hard part. I either wait too long and don't collect as much, or I just completely sell out way too early. Which it's usually I sell out too early. But sometimes you just get it right and it's good. How can AMC squeeze if the PBT continuously injects money? Well, I think the situation is, you know, with the hedge funds rather than anything else, because the reason why we have never had a short squeeze with AMC, even this was not a short squeeze by and large, was because they all had too much money, and you're starting to see that money die down, and you're starting to see less activity within the stock. You can see that directly with views on YouTube. I think that's the easiest way to view that, and the overall bearish sentiment that's going on. She's freaking out. And that's really what you've seen before these moments, right? Super fear, stock's going bankrupt, and just everybody's freaking out. Then boom, rallied. Same thing back here. You had more activity, but it wasn't like buy in now or, you know, last call, right? It wasn't like that. And then you rallied again. We've had a lot of activity this whole time, and you really haven't seen that breakout really at all. The best thing since June was going from 20, almost 30 to about 54. Yeah, so I think right now you're at that point where it could be good. For this one, I have freaking... What'd I do? Give her a Slurpee like 3 hours ago. I don't know. Apparently, don't give your 2-year-old a Slurpee at 6 o'clock. Noted. Noted. Can we see AMC or text? Oh, I'm stupid. What was it? Oh, it's just AMC. 21% short interest. 108.58 million shares that are sold short. Cost to borrow max is actually going up just a little bit at 4.72%. And the utilization is at 1%. This freaking kid. Nanny! Nanny! Where do I hire a nanny? Yeah. Dates to cover at 2.58. So it's a... No, she's been like that yesterday too, but like way worse. She's actually being kind of relaxed right now. Oh, 30 minutes. Nah. Oh yeah, that's nasty. Even the hold on. Yeah, there's that 1348 strategy for all you guys. Kind of broke right there, but yeah, that does look that looks like beautiful. Look at that. It does look really good. And I mean, it hasn't moved up too much. Like it's moved up, but it's still down. And this thing can be explosive. Once you get volume, this volume still not even half of what you'll see on a huge volume day. Look at that, 200 million. Thing went up 80, what? 87%, 50%. That's wild. Options are cheap on it too. Definitely looks good. During COVID, I don't buy COVID stocks. I buy AMC, and during war, I buy AMC. I only buy AMC. I know you do evergreens. It's okay. It's okay. We love you. We love you. I'm gonna keep that one open because I want to watch that first thing. You Amy, U.S. Anatomy. Jeez, these things are crazy. If these get volume, I wonder, some of these penny stocks that have options too can go crazy. 2 going up. I only buy AMC as well. When I look at my AMC share, it's depressing to look at. Yeah, that's where I would encourage people to, you know, if especially if you have your whole portfolio in one stock, which I would never do. You know, this is one of my portfolios, right? Snapchat, Abivai, AMD, UWMC, AMC, DraftKings, Square, MNMD, SoFi, Lucid, Affirm, PayPal, Mullen, and PXS. And these other like penny stocks, you know, a small amount can do a lot. You know, 350 in Mullen, up 66%. Just sit on it. You know, who knows? But that's what my portfolio mainly looks like across the board. You know, I got a lot more AMC and other portfolios, but, you know, if you don't like how it looks, then you can either learn options, and I would learn them before you start trading them with small amounts of money or paper trade. The combination probably best, or start buying other stocks like a PayPal or Square right now, in my opinion, is easy money. Easy money. I like to see the market cap on some of these, because the market cap is insane on a lot of these metal trades, because the price of them has been low for so long. So if you do start to see, you know, the cost of these commodities that go up, and it's going to hit different sectors at different times, then that's why you see those huge, just wild moves. I mean, you're kind of still buying that at the bottom, but it has options. That's wild. I would definitely go with something. Yeah, like you could buy $1 call for $8. You're probably going to end up paying 10. But if the commodity price makes a big move, could be good. I would probably just go with the 50-cent call, though, if I was going to do that. Yeah? Okay, I got you. I got you, girl. Your nanny is on the way. There you go. LICY. I'm definitely gonna put this on the watch list, though. I think uranium might be the next one to pop off, but precious metals, all of that is going to be good, especially as we really head into the major building cycle, the major demand cycle for a lot of these commodities. I think just that seasonality about it can be good too. And Russia, big exporter, and Ukraine of a lot of precious metals, a lot of things that are in demand. Lithium ion battery recycling in North America. That looks interesting, because that's going to be a big deal. You know, there's not enough lithium. I was watching a video on CNBC. They had experts on about how much lithium is left in the world, and let's just hold on. Or copper. lithium and nickel, the things that go into batteries. Like, there's not a lot of lithium in general. And then nickel. Oh. Believe, is it? Yeah. Indonesia is number 1, Philippines number 2, and then Russia is number 3. And for comparison, America is 10th. We do 14,000 tons, and then Russia does 270,000 tons a year. Wild difference here. So if they come out and ban, they banned exports, but I don't know what they banned. I don't think anybody knows exactly what they banned yet. Or correct me if I'm wrong on that. I've not seen anything on that. So a lot of, electric vehicles and batteries and all that, recycling could actually become high demand here in the near term, short term, near term, midterm. Go ahead and save it. Mike Brown, what's going on? You want to use EMA if you're looking at that. What's the Ortex for EMY? Let's see. If it's low, that would be a bullish thing in my opinion. I like to see less activity. Yeah, 1.3%, because kind of shows you that with a low short interest, there's not really a reason to short the stock right now. Wait, is that on a? Hold on. Oh yeah, it's on the Amex. Okay, and once you get the stock going up and more retail attention, that's when people flood into shorts, which I think it should be the opposite. I think you should short a stock that doesn't have retail attention rather than the opposite. But, I don't make the hedge fund rules. So 1.3% short interest, utilization 20.68%. Cost to borrow max is at 15%. And days to cover is almost 4. But that's like Mullen. When I got that was 2%. Short interest, and then it ballooned in the next 2 days to over 20%. As soon as retail floods in, they start shorting the stock. So I actually like to see a low short interest on a lot of these when I get into trades, but play it with time accordingly, especially with options. I need help learning options. I've watched a lot about options, but not how to buy and sell. Buying and selling is really, pretty easy. Depending on what platform are you on, because it's a little bit different. Like Robinhood, super easy. Webull and like Thinkorswim or things like that are pretty straightforward, but it's not as simple. Just doesn't look as simple. $400,000 short exempt shares on AMC. I'm not exactly sure. I wouldn't think it's like a huge deal when it comes down to it. There's really only a couple things that I even care about when it comes down to AMC. And that's just liquidity drying up. That's what you need to see, like Volkswagen 2008. Just liquidity dries up and they're forced to cover. People associate like margin calls with shorts covering, and that's not exactly the case. But when those margin calls turn into liquidations, then it's a different story. But AMC right now looks very attractive. I mean, you could see a strong just demand zone under 15 per share. Like if there was ever a time to sell out, It's not right now. So it's coming down to a point, like, who is selling AMC right now? Who is selling the stock besides shorts? Who is selling Square or PayPal besides the shorts? Like, who is doing that? Like, what? I saved that, so. Like, Square. Like, who is selling this stock after it's fallen that much? Or PayPal. That's a better example. You know, a lot of these stocks have ran out of sellers, but it's a lot of shorts just beating it down. Like, who the hell is selling PayPal right now? Their pre-COVID revenue was less than $5 billion per quarter. Now it's almost $7 billion. Who the hell is selling PayPal under its pre-pandemic levels? Substantially under. I don't even know. Like, same thing with AMC. Like, just some things right now are very out of whack and not normal at all. I see the moon. Roll out the first star. See, I run past $10. There's been a lot of talk about that, and the more crowded a trade is, the less I tend to like it. But it's a fine line there. Yeah, $1 to 10. It's possible, but you know, I would look at it like I'm either gonna lose 50% if I buy it here at $1, or it'll double or something. You know, I would look at it like that, because there's definitely risk on the table. And then you said, could Mullen run anytime soon? Yeah, I definitely think so with that. It's one that's not talked about too much. Like, over the past 2-3 weeks, it has been a little bit more, but it's still way off its highs, like way off its highs. The business, from what I can tell, is actually a lot better. They're starting their deliveries of their cargo vehicles or carrier vehicles, and in Q2. So I definitely think when the EV secular rotation comes again, that Mullen will do good. Even days where typically, not today, but typically, what we've seen over the past couple of weeks is days that Lucid is up, Tesla is up, Mullen is up double or triple what they are up, just because, you know, they've kind of been neglected for so long. Tim, fist bump, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Is it a fact that they have to buy back, man? Will they buy back? Yeah, they don't want to buy back, though. I think if there was any time to cover on a short, it's probably right now. Or at least phase out of that short, right? If you got 1 million shares that are sold short, maybe cover on 100,000 a week, maybe, so you can average down and not move the price of the stock up too much. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're doing the opposite. But yeah, they will have to cover. But, you know, good news for us, bad news for them is they won't until they are forced to, until they get those big margin calls, until AMC rallies. And the less attention, like I said, and I'll keep saying this, the less attention it gets, the better. Like, if you were in GameStop when nobody gave a shit about it and you just bought and held, you did very well. Same thing for AMC. You did very well. Now you're seeing that start to play out again. You know? Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button, though. What's your year-to-year PML? Up over 150%. Trading IMPP, HUSA, Indo, USWS, S&P, Mullen, AMC, or GME. Affect my portfolio at all. I'm still up on both. Well, I'm definitely down because a lot of my positions are down. Depending different portfolios, like that Robinhood one is down quite substantially. We got AMC, DraftKings, Affirm, PayPal, Square. I started buying those at low points, but the trading's been really good. We hit the Facebook puts, Snapchat calls. We've hit a lot of just trades here and there, the oil, all that, but it still doesn't make up for, the tens of thousands the other positions have lost. Even Lucid, I was up 10 grand on that in November, and it's lost 9 grand. But that's the thing. Time in the markets beats timing the market. Like I think to myself, who would have a better return if you're trying to beat the markets, but you're investing in like Coca-Cola? Sure, you'll get paid 3% per year, no doubt. You might lose equity value some years, might go up some years. But if you're in companies that will be much bigger in 5 years, I honestly wouldn't care to have 4 bad years and then go up 300% or 500% in the 5th year. Just for a dramatic example there. That's why I strive for companies that will do a lot better. Square and PayPal, I was not interested in them until they became ridiculously undervalued. And even Lucid is like, I don't know if they cut their guidance. I'm not by like 45%. Not too happy with it, but we'll just roll. We'll just roll with it. But like Snapchat, I think that's highly underrated. Mullen could be good too. But yeah, if you're up 150% off those stocks, just be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. The last thing you want is to go in on a bad trade with your whole portfolio. The last thing you want to do. Hope the DOJ does their job. Yeah. Lou, like I watched the 8 Father. Sorry, dog. You throw it off, homie. Oh, man. There's too much fighting back and forth. Like, the 8 Father guy. Like, I'll just search up his channel sometimes, and I won't watch it seriously, but like the drama's kind of funny. Tomorrow is going to be very interesting. Why AMC and not all GME? I like GameStop too for their NFT business. I like to know that there's a backstop. Like with a lot of these more penny stocks that we've been talking about recently, especially precious metals landscape. You don't really have a worst case scenario. A lot of these companies that are $50 million market cap, or even Mullen, that's a $30 million market cap, you don't get as many updates as often. And if something goes wrong, like let's say a mine, there was just news that Vale, they're like one of the biggest metals miners or whatever, they just had heavy rains that messed up one of their mining sites. But if that happens to a small company, it's a little bit different. There's not really that backstop like, hey, what's your worst case scenario? AMC, you're pretty much at that worst case scenario. Even during times where the market is super fearful, end of the fucking world is here, nuclear apocalypse. That's what some people have some people have been thinking. It's like World War III, nuclear war. And you've seen the SPY just have really bad days, and you've seen full-on recoveries, but it's been a slow trend down. AMC has had bad days too, but it's still sitting above that $15 level. Even the really bad days, these charts, AMC and the SPY, look very different in the low points. So I think, your worst case scenario is a little bit different here, but GameStop could be really good with their NFT business. I am actually excited about that. The valuations are crazy on NFT platforms. Like OpenSea is worth like $12 billion last time they did a funding round, which was not too long ago. And GameStop announced that they were making their own platform, and their whole market cap is only like $8 billion. So if they get half that value, you're pretty much getting the other segment of GameStop almost for free. But GameStop's in a scenario where they have to innovate, change their business to even stay in business. It's not like something that will always be in business, like movie theaters. I mean, I don't really see that going away, but no moss is happening. Let's hope we can get this over 30 again. See, I love, when people think that. Like, I honestly encourage that by the by and large public, because that's meaning the trade is less crowded and there's more opportunity. The last thing you want to do is buy in when everybody else is buying in. That's it. And I think anybody, or hopefully everybody, should agree with that. That last thing you want to do, buy in when everybody's talking about it. I'm always sketchy about those companies. Like even CEI, I know a lot of you guys are in that, but too many people are talking about it. I would probably get in when people stop talking about it as much. And you're effectively seeing that happening with AMC. I dumped 54.50 this morning after seeing oil crash and expected Oxy to do the same. Yeah, Oxy kind of moved differently today. I set my portfolio on Oxy because it didn't go up when oil did. Went up when oil went down. 4K options gone. Yeah. Yeah, I would just for that. Like I've been doing nothing less than April, because if it goes wrong and if it goes against you, the most you're probably going to lose is 30%, 20% in a day. That's still a lot, but it's not like losing everything right away. But you're not going to make as much theoretically if you're going out further. But, it's all about staying in the game rather than, doing that. But at the same time, with options, my favorite strategy, it's a no-brainer. You buy 10 contracts or 50, whatever the number is. Say you get 50 or 100%, sell out half of your position, get your initial investment back, hold the other half, and it's presumably going to be a large amount if you bought 50 contracts, hold 25, and that can do a lot of damage for you, but you're not going to lose anything. You can lose additional profits, but, you're not going to lose anything. I hate options. See, I love options, but it's definitely a different kind of risk, for sure. For sure. If war breaks out, where do people go to escape? We'd probably be going in. Yeah, it's true. Watch a movie in AC and surround sound with others. Boom, baby. That's true. That's true. That's even been like a military wartime tradition for a while. Not on the front lines. You don't want to get mortared watching a movie, but at bases. That's a good observation. There's nothing though when it comes down to it that is like going to the movies. It's not the same as watching a movie at your house. I don't know why. Really, I think it's the atmosphere and all that, but I like going to the movies. Don't do it nearly enough, but you gotta hold your nuts with those Oxy calls. But you have to hedge. Don't blindly buy options. Yeah, hedge, have different strategies for sure. For sure there. Oxy's just crazy. You had Carl Icahn get out of his position after 3 years. Warren Buffett get in, which was very surprising. Obviously, it wasn't Warren Buffett himself. I would highly doubt that. But somebody that works under him. Are there... What's going on, Batar? Good evening. Why is it a big day tomorrow? Big day tomorrow because we have CPI that comes out. And that's what is going to control basically everything. Oil is up over 1%. Brent crude up 2.5%. Futures are flat. The NASDAQ is flat. Down 50 cents. Wow. See, everybody is waiting for the CPI in the morning. That's it. That's all. But, yeah. That's what it's going to be important tomorrow. Are there advantages for retail when companies loan out their shares? Does that allow shorts to keep driving the price down? I wouldn't say there's any advantages for retail when companies loan out their shares. I wouldn't say there's any advantages. Yeah, it's kind of like a trade-off, you know. It will drive the price down if they're just lending out the stock, but you know, a DraftKings puts that went up 300%. Oh yeah, DraftKings, that's been a mess. Where do you get your info? Do you do your own due diligence? Yeah, I do a lot of individual due diligence on, you know, a lot of different things. That's where most of the good trades come from is, you know, figuring out which companies would be hardest affected if, you know, the credit crisis comes. Like with European banks, how you could trade that here, you know, instead of just blindly buying a bank, you know, call or put. That's a good example of a lot of due diligence I did the other day. And there's a lot of European banks that are exposed. A couple of them you can trade on our markets, but some of them you can't. But yeah, no, I watch people too. I do watch videos. I like I mean, these guys for news, Fast Stock Market News on Twitter, and Unusual Whales. They have a lot of good news. I don't have a Bloomberg terminal. I'm not going to spend $24K on that at this point, but maybe sometime in the future. And then like Ortex, and you know, I'm constantly looking at different news pieces. I'll even go to like stock twits and messaging boards, but you got to kind of take that stuff with a grain of salt and verify it. Yeah, I made some money back. I expect Oxy to crash with the rest of oil stocks. Yeah, Oxy's just an animal. No, she had 12 SPY, 427 contracts today for about $1,500. They were down to $1 per contract from 140 something. Then ended up closing them at 205 a piece with Euro up 7%. I thought the SPY would move. Yeah, that was crazy. Europe up almost 7%. Wild. The SPY is so expensive though. You either have to get like 0 time on contracts or just go super far out the money. And if you get a reversal, like if you had puts for like April, like the 300s or 350s that are like a couple $100 a piece, you got whacked today when the markets went up 3%, like wrecked. I got it already. I can make some money back, but I expect Oxy to crash with the rest of oil stocks. Yeah, one thing I've kind of grown to learn is just don't beat yourself up too much, you know, and that goes for anything. Like, you're going to have trades where you sell out at precisely the wrong time, you know. It happens so much to me that it's like, that just wasn't for me. That wasn't my trade. And then when you hit good ones, it's like, you know, humble yourself. It's good to take a step back and, you know, evaluate, is this a good strategy? What am I doing? Am I getting carried away? You know, you always got to try to do that. Easier said than done. But definitely goes in momentum. Either you're doing really good or you're doing just really bad. Lately, it's been really good. So let's Let's keep that up. That'd be good. That'd be good. UUU calls are still at a bargain price. Yeah, UUU is another very interesting one. That and next gen, the one have relatively the same market caps too. They're very similar for market cap wise. 2.74 billion for next gen. Oh, I'm stupid. We'd see 1.51 billion for market cap. They're pretty close, but I do like UUU too. I mean, with some DD. I look at DD and I'm like, oh, Buffett Boxy will probably skyrocket more than these other oil stocks. Nope. Yeah, the Buffett effect. That's an actual thing. Just, I mean, I feel like a lot of people know what's gonna happen beforehand. Like they are being investigated for the Activision and Microsoft deal where they bought a bunch of options. In that as well, there was a lot of option activity before Amazon deal was announced, and Unusual Whales put that out. Where is it? Yeah, notice anything weird about the final closing trades of Amazon today? Looks like people really wanted to get in before close on short out the money expires for Amazon. Pair that with a low flow seen today and over the past week. Did somebody know? Yeah, lots of bullish trades and selling a lot of puts. Selling a lot of puts. There's some selling calls. Ooh, that's terrible. That's terrible. You sold calls. Ooh, hopefully you hedged that one out. But yeah, a lot of people know a lot of information before we do, you know, so it's a little tough in that aspect. But you know, I try to stay away from the most crowded trades, like, you know, oh, it's already on one of my lists. I need to add that to the precious metals. See, a lot of these peaked out in November, so I like them. Like, I like the ones that aren't talked about as much. Do they have earnings, though? That's something I got to keep in mind. Yeah, they already had earnings, so. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to keep that one on the radar, too. Vlog coming in clutch. If you aren't comfortable buying options but you have conviction in the play, buy 2 or 3 leap calls at a time. Yeah, that's a good one. That's what I did for a long time. Was I would only buy leaps and then I would ghetto spread them, like, you know, basically turn it from a naked call. Or I've never really bought put leaps because they don't tend to work out very well. But yeah, like for an example, like let's do a square, because I think that would be a relatively good one to do a leap in. You know, you set yourself up 2024. You know, and I would opt to spend around $1,000 for these two. You know, get yourself a 230. You bought that. You're chilling. Stock goes up like crazy, like it did today, up 26%. You made $200. You know, and then you could go sell, say, the 230 for $1,500 when the stock goes up a lot. You collect $500, or, you know, roughly, give or take, and then you turn it into a debit spread. You get your money back, and you're all good. But I did that for a while, and it's good, but I think it's like one of strategies. But definitely, if you're unfamiliar with options like that, that is the way to do it. That's for sure. That's definitely a good point. What's your top 5 long-term stocks to hold? Ooh. I like different stocks for different reasons. And I think that's the most important thing. Can I just group stocks together? I definitely like Square at this valuation at a $65 billion market cap. I like PayPal too. I think they're kind of similar, but I like Square's actual merchant business as well. And I think Square could do more with, credit cards and all of that stuff too. I think PayPal could do a lot more, like PayPal credit cards or something. I've never heard of them. Maybe they do have them, but I feel like there's a lot of growth in that space. I also like SoFi a lot. And I think SoFi is definitely more risky, but it offers a potentially better return, way more diversified in different businesses. So I like those 3. I like Snapchat because Snapchat is used by young kids, and I like to bet on the future generations, not people that are older than me. Sorry, people that are older than me. You guys are what's up. You guys are the shit, but I want the growth of these young kids. They don't use Facebook. They hardly use Instagram. They use Snapchat. So I like Snapchat for that reason. And then I like EVs too, but we might be in a bubble. A lot of air has come out of them, but I do like Lucid. I hate that they lowered their guidance. And what they were saying on that CNBC interview was it's going to be nearly impossible for all EV companies to hit their targets. Like Ford and GM saying they want X amount of vehicles, like 1 million vehicles, EV vehicles per year by 2025. And then Tesla, what are they going to be at? Over 2 million by then, 3 million. And then Lucid and everybody else. They were basically saying there's not enough materials in the world without Russia to even meet those numbers. So it's better to invest in those now, but it's still something else. I actually like Mullen a lot. It's risky, Mullen Automotives, but I think it offers a really good risk to reward profile. There's quite a few, but yeah, Microvision. Microvision's one of those. I bought that at 28 cents and it went to $28, but I had sold out way early. Still made good money, but I do like plant-based food companies too. I think that'll grow quite a bit in the future. I personally, what I get from Burger King, and I had this today, was an Impossible Whopper with cheese. I don't know why. I think it just tastes better and I like it more. I don't like Beyond as much. I've never really had it. So when Impossible comes on the market, I'll probably buy some of that. But it's not too much, honestly. AMD, but there's already a big company. Just different things I like about different businesses. But Snapchat, SoFi, Square, PayPal, those are probably some of my favorites. DraftKings I think will be good too, but there's no customer loyalty. They spend a lot of money, and they're not expected to be profitable for a very long time. I kind of like Affirm at these prices too. Impossible is bad for you. Why is Impossible bad for you? Shit, man, I've been eating that at least once a week. How many calls are in the money? How many calls in the money is a lot. I mean, in a lot. I think there was like 600,000, if I remember correctly, that piled onto the chain, and 400,000 ran into the money, 500,000, and that's a lot by any option chain. That's a ridiculous amount. I believe it was in that neighborhood, and that would be a lot. But it's more or less about like those like when you're a couple days left to expiration, and then you see a big move, and you see all the options run into the money in a short time frame left to expiration, then you have to see almost instant hedging, and that's what really drives up the prices in a dramatic way. So for the Roblox, you're gonna be good long term. Yeah, I really like SoFi a lot. A lot. Let's just look at portfolio. I just kind of buy stuff I like. I've been buying a lot of Square and PayPal, Lucid. I do have a firm. I'm completely clapped on a firm, like down 62%, like completely whacked on it. I think it could be a good buyout target here, but I just don't know about deploying more capital in it. It might be one of those where I'm just down on it for a long time and I just have to sit on it. But I like Abivai as a dividend stock. This is one of my better performers, 44%. That's a good one. Yeah, everything's gotten pretty beaten down though. But yeah, firm is one of those. It's an interesting one. Just make your own with chickpeas, beets, and sweet potatoes. Huh. That's interesting. What's the catalyst? CPI in the morning. That's why the markets they're kind of just flat right now. Japan Nikkei jumps 4% following oil drop. Neo rises in Hong Kong debut. She's being an asshole. DocuSign. Yeah, I've used DocuSign a lot before, and I do like them, but I don't think it's very hard to like make your own software like that in a way, but I think it's good. They couldn't hold above 10. Yeah, SoFi has been struggling. It had support at 10, lost it, turned into resistance. So it's been an interesting ride with SoFi. Yeah, if you had Docu puts, you did exceptionally well. Yeah, what is... Yeah, SoFi does have a lot of shorts crowding it. What is Docu's short interest? Only 5.22%. Jeez, people just dumped it. People didn't want to hold it. That's it. Jeez, they get a lot of option activity though. $323 million worth in the last week. That's a ton. So oil stocks took a beating. Oh yeah, they went straight down. She's so just, I don't know, she's been like this for the last 2 days. She was like kind of sick, so now she like got all of her energy back and is just being a terrorist.
No.
The boy today didn't do too much. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. You guys are probably getting annoyed with all of that. I'm gonna lay with her or something. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you Vlog. Thank you all of you that support. Come show up and ask your questions. Hopefully learn something. You guys source some great information too. So it's always a good time. But nonetheless, I hope you guys have a good night.